5 lighting brands I discovered at Milan Design Week. So much of my work centres on the function and flow of a home, how spaces connect and how people move through them. But I'll be the first to admit I am no expert when it comes to lighting. I honestly didn't expect to enjoy the lighting focus of this year's Salone as much as I did, but I really did. And it was exciting to see how lighting has evolved. So many of the frustrations I've had in the past, inflexible layouts, poor dimming, overly clinical fixtures, are being reimagined in really beautiful, intelligent ways. Hailing from countries all around the world, Germany, Italy, Czech Republic, Canada and Mexico, these brands are shaped by their culture. Together they offer a glimpse of how cultural identity informs creativity, craftsmanship and innovation in design. Occhio really stood out to me because of their obsession with engineering and technical performance, but done in such a refined, elegant way. A common mistake homeowners often make is thinking lighting is just about the fixture. It's far more powerful than that. Lighting defines how a space is experienced. I was fortunate to speak with CEO Beno, who shared an idea that really stuck with me, that lighting has the power to shape the behaviour of our guests.
If I host guests and I cook a dinner, when these guests arrive, it's a different setting. I don't want it to be bright, and I want it a bit warmer, 3,300, 3,500 Kelvin. But I still would like to have an open, welcoming room. I want them to feel friendly and happy and energetic to them. And then they would mingle, and I would retreat to the kitchen and stand on the satellite and prepare the first courses or the drinks. And when the drinks are ready, there's at the push of a button, the large size of the room darkens down, the light gets more focused on that kitchen satellite. And then it gets even warmer. I get to 2,700 Kelvin because that creates an emotional intensity again, and it draws people close. And if you do this over time, you start realizing how people actually react to that.
Once you see how they're using lights to set mood and direct movement, it makes sense. It's lighting that actively supports how you live. The brand's identity really comes through in how they balance technology with emotional intelligence. It's elegant problem solving. It's made me want to experiment more with how I light my own home. From Vancouver, A&D have an incredibly refined modular approach to lighting. Co-founder Matt Davis has this super understated, slightly quirky humour, which you can really see in the sensibility of the brand. The pieces feel architectural, but also playful.
Well, that's kind of our DNA. That's what we've always tried to do, is picking different pieces and be able to mix them together to make decorative, beautiful lights that are also functional. And so modularity is very important to us.
This year, they were experimenting with amber tinted glass and some more textured finishes, which warmed up the slightly futuristic look they're known for. The surprise favourite for me was these little robot-looking lights. They reminded me of R2-D2, but ambient and atmospheric. I kind of want one for a dark corner in my basement. What's beautiful about A&D is how their work reflects a kind of quiet Canadian sensibility. It's thoughtful, layered, and respectful of space. It's innovation with restraint. This was one of my favourite discoveries. Studio David Pompa was one of those brands that immediately transports you. Everything felt so rooted in place. Based in Mexico City, they focus on the use of local materials like volcanic stone, blackened clay and recycled glass, as well as traditional techniques like woven palma. It honestly made me want to jump on a plane to Mexico and see where all of it comes from.
There is the woven palm collection that uses material that grows in Mexico since ever, and that has been woven by master craftsmen since many generations. So it's mainly materials that have been used in folklorical, daily utilitarian objects. Most of them very natural and very inexpensive. It is something super honest about the materials that we work with.
What I love is that you can feel how proud the brand is of their heritage. It's not just lighting, it's design that speaks to place. These lights will definitely be making an appearance in my mood boards. Brokis was another standout. They're from the Czech Republic and work a lot with hand-blown glass. Their amber pieces especially caught my eye. Warm, a little nostalgic, but still modern. They looked kind of like candy. Brokis is such a beautiful example of how traditional European glassmaking techniques can be reimagined with sustainability and design innovation in mind. You can feel the Czech glass heritage in the quality of light, the softness of form, but there's also a real push towards modernity. It's such a clever way of rethinking materiality. It's beautiful and sustainable. What really struck me about Involite is how they're giving outdoor lighting the kind of care and creativity it's been missing for years. Their finishes are beautiful. I was especially drawn to the Corten brown metallic coating, which feels subtle and organic, like it belongs in the landscape rather than competing with it. There's nothing overly designed, it's all really refined but full of character.
La particolarità più importante dei nostri prodotti è la finitura e grazie a un trattamento elettrochimico riusciamo ad ottenere una forte resistenza agli agenti atmosferici particolari come anche in Australia, dove la vicinanza del mare è molto pericolosa per la superficie dei vari prodotti.
They showed a range of pieces that felt whimsical yet practical. Colourful glass orbs, textured metal lanterns, things you'd actually want to use to create a magical outdoor space. And it made me realise just how hard it's been to find lighting like this, especially for the harsh Australian climate. So often we're stuck with boring stainless steel spikes and nothing that brings real atmosphere. Involite's work felt like such a refreshing shift. Generous, sensory, and romantic in that distinctly Italian way. It's made me completely rethink what's possible for outdoor spaces. What I loved across the board was that lighting is no longer just decorative. It's spatial, emotional, and deeply intentional. Whether it's tech-driven like Occhio or craft-based like David Pompa, these brands are changing the way we think about lighting, not just as a utility, but as a medium.